Welcome back to the Slasher Siblings podcast. I'm your co-host Cicely,
I'm your host Hayden.
and today we're talking about Trick or Treat. Came out 2007, rated R, an hour and 22 minutes long, got a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb. 5 Halloween stories. A principal has a secret life. A virgin is looking for her first time. A group of kids pull a prank. A woman who loathes Halloween does not respect the rules. And a mean old man meets a demonic trick-or-treater. Play.
Go ahead and read the question.
Question from last week. What substance was used to ink the pages of the Necronomicon? Answer: human blood.
And the answer to the bonus question of what was the pages made out of was human flesh.
Slay.
If you got that, good job. If not, better
Luck next time, gang. Do better.
So I really liked this movie. Like, really liked it. Like a lot more than I thought I would. And I don't know why I haven't seen it before. It was...
Yeah, me either. I don't know why I've never seen it. Like, it's pretty popular.
I liked it a lot, though.
Me too.
So let's get into the discussion here. I'd like to start off with the Trick or Treat safety video.
Yeah,
was
I
like
thought
a
that was cool.
Black and white video just saying, "Oh, this is how you remain safe."
Ghouls and goblins.
Yeah. Don't. What was it? Don't go to strangers' doors or something. And whatever. I thought that was really funny.
I thought it was cute.
But the way it does start off is the lady who hates Halloween. The only thing I have written for this exact moment was, "How dare you hate Halloween?"
Yeah, I don't know too many people who actually hate Halloween.
Me either.
I don't love Christmas. As I get older, I'm starting to like the vibes more because it's just so cozy.
Yeah.
I love giving gifts, but I don't hate Christmas. I never hated Christmas. You know what I mean?
I prefer Halloween to
I
Christmas.
prefer Halloween. I think it's the best holiday there is.
Plus, it gives you an excuse to watch horror movies, even though I watch them throughout the year.
Yeah, all October. I got my candles lit. I got my ghosts, all my knickknacks out, and I watch something spooky every night.
Yep.
So tonight I'm gonna watch. Not that anyone gives a shit, but I'm gonna keep watching Wednesday.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
But yeah, how dare you hate Halloween? That's just unacceptable.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Michael Myers, Scream. Some people actually don't like scary movies, but even Casper the Ghost, you don't fuck with him?
How can you hate Halloween, period? For any reason.
I love an excuse to dress up. And just so you guys are aware, my Halloween costumes are the best. The best.
It just doesn't make sense why a grown woman loathes Halloween.
Because she's miserable. Sorry if you're on. Okay, if you hate, I'm not even gonna apologize because you're probably not listening to this podcast if you hate Halloween. Let's be
Most
real,
likely,
right? I feel like everyone here should probably love Halloween.
Yeah. Anyway, the woman is attacked. And it's like, do I really feel bad for her? Because she just spent this whole
I don't
5 minutes on screen or whatever, like ragging on Halloween.
Yeah.
And trick-or-treating is like 5 minutes over and she's already taking down decorations. And she's like, if my mom comes here and sees all this stuff up tomorrow, she'll have a heart attack or whatever she said.
Yeah.
Why? What is wrong with your mother that she sees Halloween decorations that she's gonna freak out? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean,
and why do you care?
I do get it because I do tweak when they scare me really bad, but I'm not gonna be pissed off.
No, she made it seem like she was gonna be
angry
because she decorated for Halloween. And if you hate Halloween so much and you married someone that loves Halloween,
what y'all doing?
Sounds like it's your fault.
Sounds
not
like
theirs.
a you problem.
Yeah, it sounds like a you problem. But then after she's attacked by something, she's hung as her own decoration up on the scarecrow looking thing.
Yeah.
But also her severed arm is hanging from the tree.
Nasty.
Yeah. Well, what can you do?
You win some, you lose some, you know what I mean?
The husband warned her, like, don't do that. You know, it says tradition has to be honored.
Yeah.
But she got what was coming to her because she blew out the candle and said this holiday sucks. Well, maybe
you
do
suck.
That. And then it switches to I guess another story of they're getting the costumes in the costume shop, obviously, and they have like Red Riding Hood and who else? Cinderella? Was Cinderella one of them? Do you remember what they were dressed as?
Yeah, Cinderella, Snow White.
Snow White.
I think Sleeping Beauty, and then Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
I could be really wrong, but definitely Cinderella.
Right. And they were getting their costumes, and she's complaining about how her costume looks stupid or something. It's like, it's Halloween. Like, do you know how many people dress stupid on purpose?
You know what I'm dressing as? A man.
Who?
Alan from The Hangover.
Oh, yeah.
Because Matthew's gonna be Carlos.
But that's funny, so.
So funny. I'm never gonna get this chance again. Maybe. If I steal some. Can I borrow, baby?
I mean, we're having more than one.
I'll do it next year, too. I'll make it the tradition. And then when they're of age, so like 12, I'll show them the Hangover movies.
12?
Yeah. What, 10?
I don't know. I don't remember what age we were when we watched it.
10's good.
But also when they're like 30, you make them do it over again.
Yeah.
Like recreate
like
or whatever.
Put them, yes. Oh my god, what a good idea.
Anyway, as if, you know, people don't dress up stupidly on purpose. And I think she's freaking out a little much about her costume. She looks fine. It's Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
But switches again to another story of the principal and the fat kid stealing all the candy and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he drugged the candy, I guess? Question mark. But he ended up, I wonder, did that kill him or did he? No, that didn't kill him. That just knocked him out because he get there. And as he was trying to, you know, take the body inside, kids came up to the door and, you know, trick-or-treated. And the kids in front left, and there was Sam. I thought that was kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
That Sam came up to the door to get candy.
I thought that was cool.
And I wonder if, like, he won't attack the person in the house if they give him candy or have a jack-o'-lantern.
Seems like a pretty good rule.
It's kind of cool that he has, like, rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like there's not a lot of killers who are like, here's my rules.
Yeah.
They just do it.
They just kill
this
people.
This guy's like, okay.
But he's like, okay, you got a jack-o'-lantern.
I'll set some boundaries.
You gave me some candy. You said hi to
You're
me.
Cool.
You're cool. You're cool.
Fuck you. What's that from? You're cool. You're cool. Fuck you.
Waiting.
Is that what it is?
It's in Waiting, but
okay.
I don't remember if that's the original part or not. Mom would know.
Yeah.
So, Sam got candy. I thought that was a little cool nod. But he's out in the back burying bodies.
As one does.
As one does. And the neighbor comes out, and one of the bodies is trying to attack the principal. And as he's finally got the bodies buried and the tree on it and everything, he's walking back inside, and the mean old neighbor over there is being attacked inside his house. And it's like, well,
yeah.
Do we feel bad for him? Because I don't.
Not particularly.
Because he for some reason, was real mean to his neighbor.
Yeah.
Well, he was just mean to everybody, it seems, but I don't really feel bad. So then it reveals that down in the basement, the principal and his son were going to carve a pumpkin. So they go down to the basement, and lo and behold, it's not a pumpkin. It's the fat kid's head. So, father-son serial killer team, question mark?
Yeah.
Must be.
Love that.
And it was kind of funny that the whole time he was like, you got to help me with the eyes. And it was like a legit head.
You gotta help me with the eyes. Disgusting.
But then it switches to another story of this group of kids going around collecting pumpkins, saying, do you have a jack-o'-lantern we can have, blah, blah, blah. And we don't really know why exactly. We just know that they're going around collecting these pumpkins for some type of reason. But it switches to another story. To this woman being killed by this vampire. That's pretty much the end of the story. She was killed by a vampire. That's all we know right now. And we already know, Sam is a creature of some sort, so it's not entirely impossible that, vampires stalking around.
Yeah, for sure.
So then it switches back, once again, back to the prankster kids, to where they've collected all their pumpkins. They're heading down to the quarry, and she tells the school bus massacre story. It's pretty interesting. The whole thing is that this bus driver had these mentally challenged kids on his bus, and the parents didn't want to take care of them anymore, so they paid him to kill them, and then he drove them off the quarry. He was going to drive them off the quarry. He was checking their chains when the one kid escaped and drove the bus into the quarry with him still on it. But he did escape. But they haven't seen him since, so don't know where he went.
Right.
But the kids died, all of them. And then the kids decided that they're going to leave the jack-o'-lanterns on the ground at the edge of the water to honor the kids who died in the massacre, or whatever you want to call it. But then switches to the story of the girls again, and we see that something really weird's going on, and this body falls out of a tree, and in walks the Little Red Riding Hood lady. And it's the principal, who is a fake vampire who just killed a woman in broad daylight in front of people, right?
Right.
And then the weird part happens where all the girls who were in the costumes turned into werewolves.
Right.
So that one was a strange reveal.
Strange turn.
Yeah, I was
got
not
a little
expecting
dark.
it. Yeah, it got a little dark, yeah. I wasn't exactly expecting werewolves and,
No, it was very, this movie was not very predictable.
Not
I
to
feel
me,
like
at
some
least.
are oh, you know what's gonna happen. This one I was like, what the fuck?
I thought that she was being attacked in the woods.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, a guy falls out of the tree.
I said,
and then it turns him and it's like, the principal? The serial killer?
Yeah.
Okay, well that kind of makes sense. He killed the girl, but why is he here now?
Yeah, why is he
here? And then she walked up, and they start ripping her skin off. I'm like, are they like aliens or something? And their head comes out, and it's like, a werewolf? That's not what I was expecting. But like you said, there's really no part of this that I predicted.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for the fact that, we would see Sam's face, because...
Yeah.
How can you have, a character that has something like that and never show their face? Because, Michael Myers, you see parts of his face.
Parts.
I don't think you see the full thing.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Very rare when you do see his face, though.
Jason Voorhees, you see most of his face and stuff. Freddy, you see all of his face, but...
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you see most of his
Ghostface.
Ghostface,
Especially in the first movie, obviously.
Oh yeah, and it kind of reminds me of the first Scream too, because of how like you didn't know that Billy and Stu were the killers.
Yeah.
You know?
And once you knew, you're like, oh.
Yeah, then you see all the little things, and it's like, how many people actually predicted that it was going to be, number one, it was going to be two killers, but it was going to be the boyfriend and his best friend.
Yeah.
But then you pick up on
two hot toddies.
Yeah. So yeah, this movie being unpredictable was a big draw for me. I liked that a lot. But then something is happening to the pranksters. So the girl that was basically being bullied stayed behind or whatever, or were on the elevator, and then they started hearing screaming and disappearing of the kids and stuff. But she runs after them, right? And she finds the bus from the massacre just sticking out of the lake, which it's like kind of, it's like, is she hallucinating because they said they couldn't find it?
Yeah.
Or is it like purposely gone? You know what I mean? Like, does it just randomly disappear on purpose? So at this moment, we also find out that it was just the kids in costumes. They pulled a prank on the girl who was basically being bullied, which is not very nice. But it was also at this moment that the real ghost kids come out of the bus in the water, and Rhonda leaves them there because they were mean to her. It's like, well, I don't really feel bad for you either.
You kind of dug that.
This movie does a good job of not making me feel bad for these people. Like, most of them deserved it.
Yeah. So, like, it's kind of okay.
Yeah, it's kind of okay. And then the sister is being attacked now. So it's like, I don't know, it just seems like crazy that everyone's being attacked on this Halloween night. You know what I mean? And yeah, and this is also the moment that it shows that I didn't write it down earlier. The werewolf part wasn't that early. Someone heard howling and was like, oh, that's werewolves or whatever.
Yeah.
This is the part where that sister was being attacked in the woods, right? And this is where the girls reveal themselves as werewolves. Which is kind of cool because you see that connection there. They heard werewolves howling, and then in the process of them ripping the skin off and stuff, they started howling. So it's kind of like connecting those two stories, which is cool. Yeah, that's true. So you see that they're like happening at the same time or whatever. And they're the werewolves themselves. That has been revealed to us. But you also see Sam everywhere. He's just like lurking in the background, which I think is kind of cool.
He's always watching.
He's almost in like he's a part of every story somehow.
Yeah.
Whether it's like in the background, he's watching, he got a piece of candy, he murdered one of the people. He's part of each story. Which I think is cool. He's a cool mascot. I like him a lot. I think he's awesome. But then the old man scared the kids. Which always ends up being a reason that an old man in a horror movie dies. Yeah. Because you were mean and scaring children.
So maybe you deserve it.
Maybe you deserved it. So they decide to start messing with the old man. Which I can't say is very off. Like, I can't say I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
But then we find out that Sam is actually attacking Krieg now. And we see the moment where Krieg's story and the principal stories connect, too.
Exactly.
And he does his side of the story, just, we see it from the opposite direction. And this is also the moment where he rips Sam's mask, and we see Sam's full face, which I thought was really cool. It looks like a jack-o'-lantern and everything.
It looks insane.
So that's kind of why he's like, okay, well, if people have a jack-o'-lantern now, that's kind of my way of, like, saying that they, you know, that's their protection or whatever. I won't come and attack them because
they have one.
They have one, yeah. So Krieg actually ends up shooting Sam, which is never good when the, you know, main character gets shot. But then he goes for the double and the triple tap. He goes over and shoots him 2 more times. And then Sam is, you know, getting put back together and everything. He's putting himself back together, and he's going to attack Krieg and actually kill him, but the candy ends up stopping him.
Yeah.
Which, that was nice of him. It's like, you already tortured him enough. Let him go. And it clearly worked because, you know, he answered the door and was handing candy out. So clearly his near-death experience changed a little bit. But what we find out during this moment is the fact that Krieg was the bus driver that drove all those mentally challenged kids into the quarry and killed them.
Oh, God.
So they never heard from him again, but he was right there the whole time. I wasn't expecting that again.
It's unpredictable, like I said.
I never would have guessed that he was the bus driver. Figured he would have died or ran off like far, far away, you know? So, yeah, he has a different outlook now. So maybe he's changed. But the ghost kids show up at his door. Which isn't good. So they decide to kill Krieg. Which we see, you know, in comic book form, the ghost kids ripping him apart, which I thought was very kind of fitting to end his story, because how else was Krieg / the bus driver supposed to really end? But this is also the moment that we see the full circle, how all 5 stories are totally connected to each other, and in what way.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is very cool. I love stories like that like are like an anthology type thing where it tells more than one story. This one had 5, and then at the end it shows how all of them piece together.
Yeah.
So, what would you rate this movie?
7.5, 8.
I'd give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
I really, 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 really enjoyed it. I can't believe it took me this long to watch it.
To watch it, yeah.
I loved it. Sam is awesome. I love Sam. He's so cool.
Cute.
Yeah. So, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I just really liked how unpredictable it was, and I can't believe I didn't watch it sooner. Basically, what you just said.
Yeah.
And that I'll probably watch it again.
I probably will too, at least before Halloween or on Halloween maybe.
I rented it, so I'm probably gonna
do it
watch it tonight or like this tomorrow before it expires.
It was on like, I forget what it was on, AMC or Max or something.
I don't have either of those, so I should have just borrowed yours.
Oh, you're using mine, aren't you?
No.
I gave it to you. You have a profile on mine.
Well, send it again.
You made the profile.
On what?
My Max.
No, I had Adam's Max.
You were using mine too.
Well, just resend me the login information, alright?
Anyway, here's some fear facts for you. So, the peeping kid in the costume shop, who was looking through all the doors at them changing, that was actually Sam.
Oh, wow.
That's the kid who plays Sam. The bus kids were actually disabled children, right? But they apparently had a blast. Like, they had so much fun
that's
on
good.
the movie. And the costumes were actually made by like mentally challenged children.
Nice.
I don't know if it was them specifically or
Rock
others,
on.
but those, like the masks and the costumes and everything, were actually made by disabled children, which
Cool.
is really cool of them to
Yeah,
do.
that's awesome.
So the pumpkins that were smashed and everything were either foam or ceramic. And there was a joke that was on set. It was that no pumpkins were harmed during filming. Instead of
Lol.
no animals or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, it was no pumpkins.
That's really funny.
So another one kind of does justice to the whole full circle thing is that the dead bus kids, they were actually in the beginning of the movie. So if you look when you remember how at the end of the movie Sam leaves Krieg's house and goes over to the robot lady, like the lady he killed in the beginning. If you look in the background of that first scene, you can see the dead kids leaving Krieg's house and walking like back to the quarry or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So it was like at the end you see them show up to Krieg's house
Oh, cool.
and leave the house to where the beginning of the movie starts, and you see Sam kill the lady, but you can see them in the background.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's just another full circle thing that all the stories are connected somehow. So the vomit that the fat kid, when he was drugged or whatever, was made of entirely edible ingredients.
Oh.
And the director actually had some, and he said it was actually pretty good.
That's disgusting.
So you gotta think, there's a lot of movies that have like somebody like throwing up in them.
Yeah.
And they usually use like soup or, you know, something that, you know, looks like
nasty.
yeah. But you got to think that vomit from, you know, chocolate, like candy, would look candy chocolatey, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he made chocolatey vomit and made it taste good. So when it comes out, he must have done it so when it comes out the kid's mouth, he's not like
Actually
gonna throw
grossed
up.
out,
Yeah. But the director said he had some, and it actually tasted good.
Sorry, the hiccups.
So Krieg was flipping through the channels on his TV, right? And Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island came up on the TV, and that is by far
So good.
my favorite Scooby-Doo movie
Yeah,
ever. It was
me
the
too.
best ever.
Soundtrack goes hard.
Only a close second by the Scooby-Doo live-action movies.
Yeah.
But Zombie Island is my favorite by far. I absolutely love Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, and it came out on TV. I noticed it immediately because I knew if you watch it again on the TV, it's the werewolf girl with the blonde hair.
Uh-huh.
As soon as I saw her face, I knew exactly what it
You
was.
said...
I know that
is.
movie because I've watched it 100 times and I own it on DVD.
I own it on DVD.
Which I'm actually going to watch it tonight.
You should.
Now. So, that was my fear facts for this movie. I really, really liked it a lot, as I've said before. Can't believe it took me this long. And why I didn't, you know, think like, oh, why, like, who is Sam? I should find out who Sam is. You know what I mean? I don't know why it took me
Yeah.
so damn long to try
I
and
know.
figure it out. So go ahead and read the question for next week.
Who directed the 1992 film Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Bram Stoker's.
Bram Stoker's.
So if you know that, put it on the Facebooks. If not, then, you know, not your fault.
Not your fault. It's alright.
So, sis, why don't you tell them what our next movie is?
The original Frankenstein.
From
The
1931.
OG
The OG.
Frankenstein.
So, there's so many Frankenstein movies.
There's so many.
I kind of want to watch the Gene Wilder one.
It's like there's the 1931 and then there's the next one. I think
Yes.
that one's the Gene Wilder one.
No, the next one would be The Bride of Frankenstein, I think. Because it had all the same characters in it.
Maybe. I don't know. I could totally
But-
be wrong.
Because also, Gene Wilder's was in color too.
Gotcha.
And Gene Wilder was born in, I forget.
Who knows?
He's like 60 something now, I think.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
it? I thought
he's
he'd be older.
He's not young. Oh well, he might be older than what I'm thinking. I don't know.
60 is not that old.
No, 60s.
Right, guys?
Yeah.
Because our parents are almost
I did.
50.
I mean, he did pass away. What? That would be
Oh, yeah.
8 years ago now, I think. He passed away at 83.
83, goddamn.
He was actually born 2 years after this movie came out.
Nice.
So, yeah. So next
Anyway.
week, I kind of want to do Gene Wilder's Frankenstein now.
We can add that to the list.
Yeah, I'll do that at some point. But anyways, we will catch you next week with Frankenstein.
Catch you later.